Jim, crypto news and analysis here. What is going on with the crypto markets? What is going on in the DeFi markets? What is going on in macroeconomics? We're going to be talking about this today. So first of all, let's talk about the price action of the Bitcoins. Bitcoin is currently consolidating for the last couple weeks, and ever since its rally up to 120K from 115K, it is pretty much pulling back a little bit. Now it's at 118, and chart-wise, it's pretty similar to Ethereum. Like I say this in other videos, but when Ethereum did its false breakout to 2800 and then pretty much pulled back to 2100, it pretty much chilled a bit before it did another rally like this. I'm not saying it's going to happen again to Bitcoin, but let's just say that the price action is kind of similar. And if Bitcoin actually does break out from here, so currently it is at the middle of the range here, and you know what they say where you don't diddle in the middle, so it's pretty much equal probabilities for it to either touch the trend line here like that, it just keeps going lower, or it will retap 121 and then go lower like that, or it could pretty much follow 121 and then have a nice structure upwards. But right now I don't really have a bias for bullish or bearish currently. When it's currently in this middle like this, it's kind of hard to tell. But if you look at Ethereum's price action is extremely bullish. It is a clear higher high and a clear higher low, and right now is tickling the bands right now. And if anything, altcoins like Ethereum here showing significant strength compared to Bitcoin, but we'll have to see. If Ethereum does end up going higher, it's because Bitcoin goes higher. So just take for what this means. It doesn't mean that Ethereum is going to cause Bitcoin to go higher. It's probably going to be the other way around. But if Bitcoin does eventually just hit 121 from here instead of just chilling 118, then Ethereum will probably do its quick rally up to 4100, the local resistance. I had this opinion that Ethereum has failed to break 4100 like 4 times, and this is going to be a 5th attempt. But honestly, when I thought about some more, most breakouts do fail. So the fact that it is coming back to retest it for a 5th time, you know what it is, where people, as long as you keep trying and you never give up, then you're eventually going to achieve the goal. Currently, Ethereum might be in those conditions, especially if Bitcoin does go higher and people, everyone's expectation of Bitcoin's price is like 150K. And if it's everyone's expectation, we're probably not going to get it. So like 140, 130 might be pretty possible for a bull market ending. But there's some possibilities that we're coming around the 4-year cycle, and Bitcoin, if it does do its insane rally to like 123 and then 140, it's pretty possible that we'll see like a bear market for Bitcoin. It's not going to do like an 80% drawdown like it used to, since it is clearly breaking out of its previous range, but maybe like 20-30%. We're probably going to retest some sort of a trend line here. I wouldn't be surprised if Bitcoin follows this sort of path where it does an explosive move higher, and then we're going to have a pretty long bear market, maybe for like a year or something, retest 112K before having another move higher. It's going to, if Bitcoin does have a bear market, it will look like that, because it's just way healthy for the chart if it just follows this constant trend line. But if we do have the super cycle, then, well, that'll be insane. But I don't know. Everybody's saying that it's going to the moon and that M2 global liquidity is rising. Everybody look at it. That type of indicator, it is true for Bitcoin, but it's also a weird thing in markets where when everybody realizes a fact about an asset, then the market likes to go the other way. So I'm just saying that don't get too fucking horny about this, because this can just chill at 140K and everyone's expectations are ruined, and then we'll have the bear market to Bitcoin to retest this trend line, because this trend line does have to be retested at some point. We've seen it first at 28K and then 53K and then 77K, and currently it is above that. It's oscillating the price, but eventually it will have to retest 112K at some point, whether it does it now or whether, I think it will happen later. I don't think it will happen right now, because momentum wise price wants to push higher, but currently that's just what to expect if we see the end of a bull market here for Bitcoin. But Ethereum, it is pretty strong. I do think that if it does break the 4100, so it is very close, and Bitcoin does its 140K move, then, well, Ethereum, it is going to go much higher. It is going to probably first retest this all-time high, and then we could see a little bit higher, maybe 6K or something. Not trying to give price targets, but that would be pretty insane. I don't know if 10K will happen, but We'll have to see. But Ethereum, extremely bullish. I think Ethereum is probably the best asset currently in terms of the majors, but we'll just have to see and adapt for now in terms of strength. In terms of the other tokens, not really that much to have that much fun about. So let's talk about the DeFi ecosystem. So that is the altcoins. But before I do that, there is this notice where nearly 1 billion worth of Ethereum shorts will be liquidated if ETH hits 4,000. So even Price wants to liquidate these people up here. But currently in the DeFi ecosystem, in the base ecosystem. So right now there's this whole narrative with Farcaster. So we had this Zora token that was pretty much going up only for the last few days. It was all over the crypto Twitter. And right now it is having a little bit of a pullback. And what I think is happening is that people are shifting their liquidity from being up in profits and now they want to chase other plays. Currently Zora is in this little mini order block. So it's possible that this could be the bottom for Zora and then it does continue its trend higher. But right now, people are chasing into Farcaster tokens, so they're having a Farcaster narrative with things like this Dog and Me. So the original cast that influenced the launch of Dog and Me is up for auction on Farcaster's 1-1 collectible, and the Farcaster is like another ecosystem that was like a launch pad. It's like one of the original launch pads for base, and I guess people are trying to have a narrative for basically the quote unquote original Zora, and some of the Farcaster tokens are going up, like DRB. This is a Grok token that they made with Farcaster, and there's some sort of a narrative going on. I don't think this is going to hit like 180 billion like people are saying on Twitter, but something like this, it seems a little toppy. That, you know, it's not good when liquidity rotates around an ecosystem and then people are trying to chase super betas like this. Luminous is another token that was made on Farcaster. Currently it is pretty much 2x from the lows, but when you look at a chart like this, does this mean it's going to go straight to $1 billion? I don't really know. I think this is more of like an exit pump for the people. They wanted to force a narrative because they see Zora and then they're like, oh shit, wait, we had a Clanker before, and Clanker is the original token bot to essentially deploy these tokens on Farcaster. And Clanker's having a little bit of a nice green week. It's up like 30% or something, but I just think it's people just trying to chase this new narrative, trying to make something new because Zora is pulling back. It's pretty evident that since price is going down, it's because people are selling and they want to go into other narratives here. So this is what I think is going on. There's a lot of posts about this where DRB liquidity will be rotating the loom. Don't buy green candles, you get red dildos, buy instead bottom charts. So I mean, do you want to buy into loom that is up 88% in the day and it has a history of being pretty pump and dumpy like this? I don't know. That's up to you. I don't think this will top out here. Maybe it can go a little bit higher. The RSI does show that there's a little bit of room, but I don't know. Personally, I'm just going to be watching this from the side. If anything, positioning yourself in like Zora in this little order block is pretty decent, but we'll have to see if this does end up going higher from here and we see Bitcoin and Ethereum go higher, then Zora will go higher as well. But if not, and Bitcoin goes lower, so just kind of depending on Bitcoin price action, then we'll probably see something like that. And it's probably going to chill around here in this order block and form a base before it goes higher once again. So this is my current expectation of Zora. So if you want to play this, then it's pretty good. Like, there's still a lot of attention on this. I do think this goes higher for now, unless we see a clear break of structure and it just does something like that. But for now, you know, when it's pretty evident, like qualitatively, when people are chasing other narratives because of Zora, well, that just shows that there's still a lot of attention on this, and this has more fuel to go higher, especially if Ethereum does go higher as well. So it's just something to pay attention to, in my own opinion. And Dog and Me is a token that was apparently being shilled on Farcaster. Currently, it's a little bit pumpy. But this is one of like the things of meme coins, is that it's pretty hard to like invest in them, and they go up spontaneously when there's random posts like this, when there's like a cabal behind them, and then they're going to say, oh, we're going to pump this because Zora's going higher, and we had the original narrative of Clanker. Well, this is something to consider here, and just don't lose your shit. And the final thing I want to show here, so this is another token that's being pushed on to the Solana ecosystem. So this video is just like a lesson on meme coins, honestly. But Troll is a token that's been around for like 3 months, and there's a lot of people pushing us on Twitter, and it's having this recent breakout. You know, if we do the trend like the TA, then yeah, it's pretty much having this wedge, and then it pretty much broke out to this. I don't know if this will mean that it will go higher. Could, but there's a lot of people pushing this. So this account, for example, you got to know these crypto Twitter accounts. These guys love just to rotate tokens and then say, we're going to make history together, back to work, we're going to post their bags everywhere and have everyone join the Ponzi until somebody's late, and then they're fucking broke because they put their life savings at the top here on Troll, and then it goes to 90%. Like this guy, I've seen a lot of posts. He did this with like Peanut and the other tokens where he's like, I'm going to be pushing this forever. I think there's another token in the AI meta, but just realize what these guys are doing. They're not your friends. They're here to push a bag so you can buy them so that they can sell on you. So that's just the nature of the meme coins. A bit of a lesson here on the meme coins here with what the fuck is going on. And yeah, I like basically the main summary here is that I do think that there is a decent probability that the Zora token will go higher because people are making these betas off of it. This is assuming Ethereum goes higher. So you're kind of making a bet on Ethereum going higher if Zora goes higher, but it's pretty probable. But if you want to like a super good risk reward on Zora, then waiting for around 170, 140 mil is probably your best bet for it to form a base. If it breaks below 120 mil, then you probably want to sell it because it's probably going to die. But I do think that a chart structure like this would be very, very possible. And if it does go around here, I would put this on your radars for a pretty nice swing trade for size if you wanted to play a narrative here. But yeah, that's pretty much all I want to say in this video. Nothing that much crazy to say except some DeFi and some altcoins and Bitcoin. Just pulling back my current bias. Well, I'd like to be bullish, but we'll have to see. Currently, it can just retest this line right now. It's possible. And Bitcoin just goes lower, or it just goes higher first and then goes lower, or it just goes straight lower. We'll have to see. I don't really have a bias for both of them. I think both are equally probabilistic. It either goes up or it goes down. But yeah, that's what I'm saying in this video. And I'll see you guys. Please check out the links in the description, and I'll see you guys tomorrow.